Hello, Leute. Long time no speak. So I wanted to share with you something that happened to me. I had a crazy experience, and it taught me a lot about life, and I want to share it with you. So, story, lesson, here we go. So the other day, I come home from shul, and every morning when I come home, I take my car keys and I put it to the left of the door. There's a bowl, and in that bowl is where I keep my keys, and I need to know that the keys are there. Because otherwise, you guys remember, I could spend my whole life looking for things that I lost and I don't know how they got there, where they're supposed to be. So there's a bowl where the keys are supposed to be. So I walk into the door and I put the keys in the bowl. And as I do that, I notice that in that bowl is another set of car keys. Car keys that I've never seen before. They're not my keys. They're not Miriam's keys. I take it out. There's a Honda car key. There's a Hyundai car key. There's a few house keys and what looks like a blue fob to get into a building. I've never seen these keys before in my life, and here they are in my house. And so I'm very curious, but I'm also spooked out. Who's been into my house to leave their keys over here? I look back and I'm like, pretty sure I locked the door the other day. How did somebody, last night before I went to bed, I locked the door. How did somebody come into my house and leave their keys there? More than that, normally when somebody breaks into a house, they take things. Somebody came into my house and left things, and not only do I have to worry about a burglar, I have to worry about a crazy person burglar. So I'm not sure what to do. I'm very much curious, a little bit spooked. Someone's been in my house. It's like Goldilocks from the Drei Bären, right? The story, like someone's been in my house. What's going on over here? So I'm trying to figure out the mystery of these keys I've never seen before. So my first thought is I call over Shia, my 4-year-old, and a lot of mischief that happens in the house is because of this guy over here. So I come over, Shaiki, come here, and I show him the keys. I'm like, Shia, what's the deal with these keys? Have you seen them? Did you maybe find them in camp and bring them home? And he's looking at me like completely confused, like, Abba, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Shaiki, what's the deal with these keys? He's like, Abba, I've never seen these keys before. And I know him, and he's totally telling the truth. He's clearly never seen these keys. He's as confused as I am. I asked the other kids. I asked Miriam. I'm asking a few of my friends. Hey, do you know anybody who lost some keys? I have some keys in my house. I don't know what to do with it. Miriam's very creative, so she calls the car dealership. Right, it's a Honda car. So she calls up Honda and say, "Hey, crazy story, but I found keys in my house and I have no idea who they belong to. Is there a way that we could track through a serial number or somehow a way that we could air tag, find out who the owner is?" And they said, no, that doesn't work that way. So that didn't work. So I asked the kids again. I even asked one of the kids' counselors in camp, like, hey, he doesn't think that he found any keys, but maybe he forgot. Do you know, nobody knows anything about these keys, and I don't know what to do. And then I remember, oh, you know what? We're in the process of moving, and so my landlord is doing a lot of work in the basement with the pipes. Long story about flooding. I don't want to get into that. But there's been a few plumbers that have been in and out of the house in the past few days. So I called my landlord and I sent him a photo of these keys. Please ask the plumbing company who's had workers come, is anybody missing keys? Because I think I found their keys and I'm feeling all great. Like I figured out who's been in our house. The plumbers have been in our house. And I get an answer, no. None of the plumbers are missing any keys. None of the plumbers know anything that I'm talking about. And so I'm back to square one with a pair of keys in my house that I have no idea how they got there, and I have no idea who put their keys in my house, how they got into my house, why their keys are here, and I'm also realizing like whoever it is missing their keys and doesn't have access to the car. I am completely verdutzt, right? I'm bewildered, I'm confused, I have no idea what's going on. Then later that evening, I'm sitting at the table and I get on my phone on my community shul WhatsApp chat. I get the following notification saying so-and-so is not on WhatsApp, so he's not on the chat, but he is missing his keys. He thinks that they were taken last night from the table outside of the shul, accidentally. If anybody knows where they might be, please let him know. And I read that text and I literally fall off my chair and I started laughing. Because you know what happened? You know where these keys came from? I took them the night before. So, the keys that we have nowadays, you don't actually have to turn the car. They just need to be in your pocket and you have like a push start. So as long as my keys are in my pocket, I'm good to go. I don't need to actually look at them and put them in. So what happened was the night before, I was at Shoal and I left and I already had my key in my pocket. And I absentmindedly, as I left Shoal to the outside building where there's a table where people leave their phones and their keys, and I see a pair of keys and I just take them and put them into my other pocket thinking they're mine. And I don't have to take them out to turn on the car. So they're just sitting in my pocket. I come home, walk into the door. To my left, there's a bowl. I take my key. I don't even look at them. I take the keys and I put them in the bowl. Good night. Next morning, I come home, walk in. There's already a pair of keys there. Why? Because I put them there. I accidentally took this guy's keys and put them into my house. Poor guy had to walk home that night because he couldn't find his keys. And then it hit me, the life lesson. Do you know in life, we find these keys and we have this issue and we don't know where did it come from? Why is this happening to me? How did this happen? Why are they doing this to me? Why is my situation so... And you know what? A lot of the time, not always, a lot of the time the answer is because of me. Because of me. I made some decision. A lot of life situations are there because I made certain actions. And we can spend a lot of time like I did. The whole day, I was always trying to find out who put their keys here. How come someone else's key? Who's been into my house? I never once thought for a second, hey Noam, did you maybe take somebody else's keys accidentally and like steal someone else's keys and bring them home? Maybe. Never thought about that. Probably should, knowing my personality, but I never thought about that. But that's really what happened. The whole time I'm thinking about other people, who's responsible. Maybe it was Shia, maybe it's a plumber left their key. I never actually thought, maybe, you know what, Noam? Maybe you did it, right? And that was a life lesson that's really, I've been thinking about that a lot. It's helped me this week. That when we find ourselves in situations and it's hard, there's a challenge, there's a hurdle, whatever the situation might be, sometimes we're in that situation because of some decision that we've made. And if we take ownership and if we control the situation, we can change it. So that's a story, a life lesson. Don't be strangers. All the best.